and the Lions pulling it off against Glasgow. The Glasgow train finally derailed. So many service charges, so much being paid back to the customers of the Glasgow train as it finally comes off the rails. You've now got to say the Lions have put themselves in the hunt. They're now coming close to teams like the Ospreys and Edinburgh, who have been kind of there or thereabouts, Benetton as well. So they could plenty push on now for that top 8 spot.
Squidge Rugby versus Siv Ngesi in Vodacom United Rugby Championship, North versus South.
Welcome everyone. It is Vodacom URC North vs South with my brother Squidge Rugby. What's up, Squidge?
So delighted to be here. This is my next favourite time of the week after all the games, so like my 9th favourite time of the week. It's been a fantastic week.
Squidge, can you see how big the smile is?
It's enormous. It's so... I can see it from out my window. I just glanced once.
This is the closest the Northern Hemisphere gets to the sun this time of year. You know, this smile is so big. I don't know which one. What excites me the most? DHL Stormers going over the line against Vodacom Bulls, or us calling on the people saying fill up Loftus, and breaking the URC record for attendance for the Southern Hemisphere. And it is 41,205 people. Ooh! Insert applause. The Chies in Loftus was unbelievable. The vibe was electric. DHL Stormers beat Vodacom Bulls, and what a game as well. Oh, what a game. Dion Fourie in the ruck, stealing balls left, right, and center. Captain's performance. Manny Lapok. Give him a number 10 in the green and gold, Mr. Ref. Give it to him. But another great shout out for Siv Ngesi, who came back hard and even scored a try. Mad love to you, Siv Ngesi. Mad love. That is a real character, my brother.
It was a really, really compelling and came right down to the end. You had the Vodacom Bulls right on the line, right on the Stormers line, trying to sneak over and get that winning try. And the defence was outstanding. As you said, you had coming back in Siv Ngesi, who was fantastic. It was just such a game going back and forth the entire way. And yet, every time you felt the Bulls had momentum, the Stormers managed to just sneak it back and steal it back.
So, okay, Squidge, you are the master of breaking down why things happened, how they happened. Could you tell us why, the DHL Stormers, doubles boys, keep on getting it over Jake White all the time? What is it? Give us a moment in the game and you can, break it down Squidge Rugby style.
You got the Vodacom Bulls right on the DHL Stormers line. It's completely their set hit, right? They get through 17 phase here. They get onto the 18th phase. And by this point, Jake White's sides are so well drilled in the forwards. They're so good forward teams. But you've got 7 of the 8 forwards having been driving for such a long time in such a short space of the ruck here. And this is a brilliant moment of defence by Tennyson here, who just spots that Marco van Staden is ever so slightly early in the way he times his line, and it means the receiver at the base here isn't able to drive. And that means there's only one option. This ball can only possibly go to one player, to Makanzima here. And the moment the ball goes here, he doesn't just tackle him. He also takes out his support, his clear-out support, meaning that the first person to get round is Van Staden, who was in front, giving the Stormers an ideal chance to sneak over the ball with a huge turnover right at the end to really, really save things just as they looked really dangerous. It's an amazing moment, incredibly smart defensive work by Tennyson.
Let's talk about the game in the North. That was action-packed. Tell us about that particular game. How was it?
Yeah, so Glasgow came up on top against Ulster, 2 teams that have been really turning their season around and really hitting form in the last few weeks. Glasgow scored all 3 of their tries through the mauls, but Jack Dempsey was incredible, very much pushing his place for Scotland's starting spot. He carried everything. He somehow hit even more than he carried. He was just enormous. It was a really impressive performance by Glasgow.
Leinster's won 14 out of 14. Can they be stopped? Can they be stopped? Will they be stopped? Are they feeling like they want revenge after last year?
Yeah, this is just kind of the inevitability of Leinster, that it takes basically the best performance of your season to beat them at all. And no one's quite managed that yet. No one's quite put it together yet in the way that eventually happened last year. I think they're hungry. I think they're angry. And I think they've got to still stand as favourites. They're unbeaten. They've had a couple of games where teams have come close, but never a game where the team would actually, looked potentially like they were going to steal it. I think they look almost unstoppable at the minute and were brilliant against the Dragons again.
Squidge, my friend, it's been north versus south between me and you the entire Vodacom URC season. But I need to be honest, there are definitely more northern teams at the top. The log's looking great.
The log, yeah, it's slowly sliding up that way, isn't it? You've got the likes of Glasgow really climbing up. Munster have been really impressive. They had a shaky start of the season under the new coach Graham Roundtree, but he's really turned things around in the last kind of couple of months, and they've climbed up slowly. They're currently sitting just outside those home spots, but they could shoot up above Glasgow or Ulster very soon. Ulster, again, had a drop off, but they're turning things around. And then you've got Cardiff and the Ospreys and Edinburgh just outside that, and they could all sneak into that top 8 as well. They're all looking pretty good for a place to climb their way in. And I think there was a big swing this weekend we've just seen with Ulster beating the Sharks, climbing their way up, keeping that momentum up there. And when you dip further down the rest of the top 8, you've got teams like Cardiff, Benetton, Edinburgh, Ospreys, all well within a shout of sneaking those last few places, potentially from the Sharks, if they don't turn things around very quickly. And the Lions pulling it off against Glasgow. The Glasgow train finally derailed. So many service charges, so much being paid back to the customers of the Glasgow train as it finally comes off the rails. You've now got to say the Lions have put themselves in the hunt. They're now coming close to teams like the Ospreys and Edinburgh, who have been kind of there or thereabouts, Benetton as well. So they could potentially push on now for that top 8 spot.
I just saw what you did there. Lions going for the hunt. Oh! Sneaky owie! Squidge Rugby, my boy, it's my favorite part of the episode, the Nostradamus part of the episode, when we predict what's going to happen in the games to come. Vodacom Bulls versus Emirates Lions.
I think we saw enough from the Bulls in that home game. I think the Vodacom Bulls are going to come good here. I'm saying Bulls by, let's say 9.
I'll definitely go Vodacom Bulls with ease over Lions by at least 15 points. Next one, we've got Munster versus Scarlets.
Munster looked fantastic against the Ospreys. I think the Scarlets have been quietly getting into really good form of late. You know, their win against Edinburgh was fantastic, but I think Munster should have too much. I think Munster by 6.
Once again, I agree with you. I say Munster by 8. We have Glasgow versus Zebra, right? Glasgow versus Zebra.
I'm going Glasgow by 14.
Once again, I agree with you, brother man. I say Glasgow by 9.
This is amazing.
Edinburgh versus Leinster.
Oh,
this is amazing. It's getting close. It's getting close to us agreeing on everything.
Whoa, what if it happens? I think Leinster are going to take this by, let's say, sort of 12 points.
Leinster by 16. All right, let's move. Ospreys versus Benetton.
Okay, Ospreys, you know, their coach Toby Booth, his catchphrase is find a way. I think they will find a way to win this by, let's go, 7 points.
Ospreys as well, I agree. I say let's give them 11. Dragons versus Connacht.
Oh, this is the tough one. This is the one where we might not line up, I think. Because it could go either way. But I think the Dragons look better against Leinster than the scoreline would suggest. And I think there's a world in which at home, this is the last home game of the season, in which they could do it, in which we could see, let's say, the Dragons by 2.
Oof. I really was looking forward to us actually agreeing on everything. I think I'm going to go to Cardiff by at least 3. But the next one I think we'll agree on. It is Cardiff versus Ulster.
Oh, again, this is a big one. Cardiff really good at home. Their struggles are more on the road, and fantastic win last round at home. But I think Ulster might just pip it. I think Ulster are coming back to themselves, and I'm going to say Ulster by 2.
All right, I say Ulster by 4. That wasn't bad.
Oh.
We agreed on everything but 1.
But
my
1.
friend, I think we're sinking.
It's finally happening.
Be a moment.
We're coming together.
Squidge, my boy, it is a rematch. It could be a grudge match after what DHL Stormers did to South Sea Sharks a few weeks ago at home. But it will be DHL Stormers at home against South Sea Sharks. Do you think South Sea Sharks can bounce back, my friend?
I think they can bounce back. I think winning might be a step too far, but I think we can see a much improved performance on that return game, because I think the Sharks' performances have been pretty solid since the new year. You know, you look at their win over Edinburgh, it's fantastic. You saw them the other week. They absolutely trounced the Lions. The Lions didn't really have a way into the game. And I think we could see the Chelsea Sharks really, which is surprisingly difficult to say, as you point out, really giving them a game. But I think the DHL Stormers should have too much. I'm going to say Stormers by 8. But I'm expecting a competitive and fierce and entertaining game.
For me, I don't think people are speaking about it enough, but for me, on paper, DHL Stormers has no rights to be doing what they're doing. They really were in trouble behind the scenes, on the field, and they really have come together, backing Dobbo and really, really doing magical things. And I really am proud to see it, not just as a Southern Hemisphere supporter, but an absolute rugby lover. DHL Stormers is really, it's a movie. It's an absolute movie. And I really hope they can keep their winning record on the go. I think it's going to be DHL Stormers by 12. I look forward to another incredible week of Rugby Squidge. It's been a pleasure. My name is Siv Ngesi. What's your name?
It's Robbie or Squidge, whatever you can call me. I'll answer to literally anything.
Cheers, guys. We'll see you next time.
Cheers. I'll see you next week.